Hello all of you. We are doing here capital gain revision class for the financial year 2021, right? That is your year ending 21 March 21 and assessment year 21-22. Capital gain, there are few amendments we will take care as and how, but let me tell you the first stress, we are going to revise all the concepts, all the exemptions, but the first thing with lot of weightage we all should be clear is the definition of the capital asset, the age of the capital asset, and I will do it at last with the help of the flow chart, but tax implications, because taxation of capital gain is not easy in the sense you should know unutilized basic exemption, normal rate, special rate, surcharge, rebate, many things, right? So when you study capital gain, make sure at the end of the revision you should be able to answer how to categorize the capital asset, age of the capital asset, and tax implications. Okay, so here we begin. I'm sharing the screen also. In between I'll share the flowchart screen also, and I will revise all the concept. If you have any doubt you can comment here. Okay, right. Now, when I say capital gain head chapter, listen all of you please. One thing very important is question number 1 is only 15 marks. For the CA students, 15 marks. Question number 1 is computation of income. There only they are asking inside capital gain. If not, separate problem for capital gain, but there won't be any exam ki हाँ इस बार तो capital gain आया ही नहीं. House property sometimes they are skipping. Set of clubbing sometimes they are skipping. But one is your deductions, salary, business head, capital gain. These are the 4 pillars of income tax. Now coming to CMA students, 8 marks exclusive question for the capital gain, and MCQ super age section. So many things are asked in the MCQs. So it is very scoring, and capital gain of other asset is on one side. Capital gain on shares, regular only we have taken 4 classes only for the shares. Original shares, bonus shares, right shares, when you buy, when you sell, how you pay the capital gain. Okay, so this is just a base that your concept should be clear. If you want you can note down few things what we are talking now, and let us start now. Chargeability section is section 45. All the 5 heads of income, they have the chargeability section. What is chargeability section? Knock knock. Do you enter capital gain head in your every written? Usually not. You enter capital gain only when you have a capital asset. Second is you transfer that capital asset. Holding a capital asset is not problem. But if you transfer your jewelry, your asset, your shares, then you enter this. Clear? So in the coming 15 minutes, I may go a little slow, but this is most important. What are capital assets? What is transfer? And what is the age of the capital asset? Because age will decide the format in which you have to compute the capital gain. If it is the transfer of a short-term capital asset, short-term capital gain without indexation and tax rates are different. If asset transferred is long-term capital asset, then the way I compute with indexation is different and the capital gain is different, right? So what are the 3 things we are going to cover, so that even if I miss out, remind me. Another 15 minutes. What is a capital asset? Second is, what do you mean by transfer? It's not outright transfer. There are many things included in transfer. And third one is the age of the capital asset, right? So here I am sharing the screen and we are beginning with the revision. Check with me. 1 second, I'm on the screen. Okay, so definition of a capital asset. When you transfer a capital asset, you enter this head. So what is the definition of capital asset? Capital asset means any kind of property, movable, immovable, tangible, intangible, circulating, related to business or personal. I am having some jewelry as my personal asset. If I sell that, I have to pay the capital gain. So it includes everything except these 6 items. First is stock in trade. Your stock in trade, your opening stock, purchase, sale, closing stock, that comes in business head. You buy the goods. If you're having a jewelry showroom, then jewelry is not your capital asset, it's your stock in trade, right? Then second is exclude personal effects, your furniture at your home and your, see, you have refrigerator and oven and electronics at home. They are not capital asset, right or not? But same refrigerator and oven and all, if you have it in a hotel, in a restaurant, that's a capital asset. They depreciate, and when they transfer, they charge it as short-term capital gain. Okay? So, personal effect is excluded from capital asset. But in personal effect, again, jewelry is excluded. That means jewelry is included. See, this is my, tricky language of law. I say this is capital asset, excluding personal effect. Personal effects exclude jewelry. That means jewelry is a capital asset. Gold, silver, bronze, precious diamonds, whatever you have. Right or not? Now, agricultural land. Agricultural land that is within the city limits ke bahar, you leave 8 kilometers radius, and then it is agricultural land on which farming and all. So definition is given in agricultural chapter. So rural agricultural land, if you transfer, it's not a capital asset. What about urban agricultural land? Next to my bungalow, I am having a land where I do organic farming. It's an agricultural land in the heart of the city. And if you transfer that, capital gain is going to be there. It's an open plot. So, what is excluded? Personal effects. But in that, what is excluded? Ornaments made of silver, gold, platinum, other precious stones. Okay? And not only as it is, but even sewn into a wearing apparel. I don't have gold and diamonds outrightly, but I have a jacket in which 5 crores. नहीं है मेरे पास कोई jacket नहीं है, but I have a jacket in which suppose 5 crore diamonds are put up. Can I say jacket is my wearing apparel? It's my clothing. So in that case, personal effects में clothings are excluded, but jewelry in whatever form we have. So many people, they have gods and deities at home made of gold and silver, and gods' dresses are also made in lakhs of rupees with the gold and all. Then definitely all that is taxable asset. And including that, even archaeological collection, drawings, paintings, sculptures, work of art, these are not a personal effect. Means if you transfer drawing, paintings, all this is very well a capital asset. Any antique, sculpture, whatever. Agricultural land, not being a land situated within the municipal land distance away, all of you know. And additional we have gold bonds issued by central government, special bearer bond, and gold deposit bonds. These are the 3 bonds issued by the government. So when you transfer these bonds, okay, when you transfer these bonds, in that case, there won't be any capital gain. Otherwise, bonds is a hi-fi name of debentures, and shares and debentures are very well your capital asset. Okay? But excluding these 3 bonds. So I hope the definition is clear for the capital asset. Stock in trade ko chhod do. Personal effects other than jewelry and paintings and all, leave it. Agricultural land in India. What about agricultural land outside India? Taxable. And these 3 kind of the bonds. Okay? Now, holding period of the asset. I call this in routine class also. ये सब हमने आराम से पढ़ा है. Age of asset. Age of asset will decide what is the nature of the capital gain when you transfer. So when we are talking about listed securities, units of UTI, zero coupon bonds, listed shares, units of UTI or zero coupon bonds, when you hold this for less than 12 months and transfer, it's short-term capital gain. Hold for more than 12 months and transfer long-term. See, normally when we do share trading, we see if we have listed securities, shares and all, and almost 11 months and 20 days are over. Let us wait for 10 more days and then transfer. Because taxation of long-term capital gain is less than short-term capital gain. It will come ahead. Now, for unlisted shares which are not listed on stock exchange and land and building, holding period is less than equal to 24 months short term, more than 24 months long term. Third is debt oriented funds, unlisted securities other than shares. Unlisted shares to 2 years mein aa gaya, and other capital asset, holding period less than 36 months short term, otherwise long term. Whenever I use less than, greater than accounts, income tax costing anywhere, ma'am, sir, equal to kahan aayega? If a teacher misses, it's your right to ask. Here equal to is less than. Exactly, you hold the land and building for 2 years, it's short term. 2 years and 1 day, it is long term. Here, land and building. Is age clear to all of you? So when you hold the asset as short-term capital asset and transfer, short-term capital gain indexation will not be there. Tax rates and all I will discuss. Long-term capital gain indexation is applicable, right? Okay. Tax part I don't want to discuss now. I will discuss it in the end. And that is very, very important. Now let us take up the concept. What is a transfer? Did I skip that? Because when you holding the capital asset is not a problem. When you transfer the capital asset, then you have to pay the capital gain tax. So transfer includes sale, exchange. Exchange is barter system. I am purchasing jewelry from your store and I am giving you my company's shares. So am I transferring the shares? Some other companies, not my companies. चलो वो तो फिर issue of shares हो जाएगा. So exchanges, I am purchasing plant and machinery from you and I am giving you my jewelry or my some other capital asset. So barter system. Relinquishment means giving away. I am giving away that after my, according to my will, after I am not there, my property should go to an orphanage which is next to my house and they can use this property for school and all. So relinquishment is giving away the asset. Ma'am, but there is no capital gain. Listen, all of you, I'm just talking what do you mean by a transfer. If transfer will be taxable or not, that's the next topic. But when I relinquish the asset and give it outrightly to a temple trust, is it a transfer? Answer is yes. Extinguishment of right therein, superb level of problems are asked. Extinguishment of right means in any property, my right gets extinguished, closed. How does it happen? Natural calamity. For example, there's a flood and all my plant and machinery and my factory is destroyed. Have I transferred my plant and machinery to anyone? Answer is no. But is it extinguished means my right and plant and machinery is over? Yes. But I had taken insurance. Now insurance company gave me 5 lakh rupees as consideration for plant and machinery destroyed. Can I take this as sale consideration? Answer is yes. And the day it got destroyed, the WDV was say 4.5 lakhs. So can I take short-term capital gain 0. I hope all of you remember punchline, depreciable assets whenever they are sold, profit is short-term capital gain, loss is short-term capital loss. अच्छा है, clear है? So extinguishment of right is I didn't sell my plant and machinery, but it got destroyed. So whatever consideration is received by insurance company, that is as good as the sale consideration, and capital gain में tax होगा. Third one is super duper compulsory acquisition. Can my property be compulsory taken by government for metro work or for road expansion program? Yes. Will they give me consideration? Yes. How do you tax it? We will do with the help of a flow chart. Next is conversion of capital asset into stock in trade. I am opening a jewelry showroom. I am converting my personal jewelry also and putting it in the showroom. Yet it is not sold. But is it transfer of the capital asset into stock in trade? Yes. So for me, as good as I've sold my jewelry to my business, in business it is purchased, and when it is sold in the business, we will pay capital gain also, business income. ये दोनों के लिए I'll say detailed with the help of a flowchart. But these are all transfer. Maturity or redemption of zero coupon bonds. So many times bonds and all, secondary market में much demand is not there, but they are like company only. Either the company will convert your bonds into shares. So conversion of the bonds into shares is a transfer, but it is exempt. But can they redeem your bonds on the due date? 6 years are over. Thank you so much. Debenture holders, take your money and we take the debentures back and cancel. That will be taxable in the hands of debenture holders. Redemption value or maturity received by the debenture holders from the company is taxable. Possession of immovable property in the part performance of the contract. I have transferred the property to you on 15th of March. You have also made me part payment. I handed over to you the keys also. So almost everything is done on 15th March, except that property was registered in your name on 10th of April. Paperwork will take time, no? So we went to registrar's office on 10th of April and then the property was transferred. Can we tax this transfer before 31st March? Because 15th March 2021, I transferred the property. I handed over the possession. You started your store also over there and you paid me the consideration. It's just on paper, I am the holder of the property till 10th of April. So in the part performance also, if the property is transferred and at least some consideration is received by check, account pay and all, we can tax it now only. And the last one is beneficial owner of immovable property. This many people are not aware. This is not a capital gains knowledge. This is a practical GK. You should ask your family members. If you are staying in an apartment and there are 4 floors, each of the flat is owned by you all 4 brothers. Then the flats are built up on the land, no? So 1/4 of the land, undivided share of the land, that is also owned by each flat owner. Are they enjoying that land also? Answer is yes. Clear to all of you, right? Okay. Just go through this definition of the transfer or any other thing what I've discussed in the last 15 minutes and ask me if you have a doubt anyway. Just 2 minutes, I'll be back. Keep your doubts ready and go to the transfer also. Okay, is the age of the capital asset clear to all of you? What is the definition of the transfer? I'll give you all the format, everything, how you should solve the problems. Presentation is also very important. Okay, thank you so much. That all clear till now. Now listen all of you. If you read this definition of transfer, You will feel so many things are taxable, but ma'am, we to didn't pay capital gain. My father transferred the property to my mother. He to didn't pay capital gain because he transferred out of love and affection without any sale consideration. Agreed that it's a transfer. Property is transferred by father to mother, but there is no sale consideration. It's like a gift out of love and affection. So it's a transfer, but it's an exempt transfer. So now can we open up the topic, and this is like super duper important for true and false. यहाँ से निकाल के they are asking small objective true and false, and in exam true and false, write true false if they ask. If they say, in case if they say write with reasoning, do write one line reasoning also if they ask. So now I am discussing the topic which is a transfer, but it is an exempt transfer. Distribution of the capital asset by company to shareholders at the time of liquidation. We have worked out problems also for this. Company is closing, and on liquidation they are giving the assets and cash to shareholders. Or another option is cash, assets and all will be sold by them, and then they will give the cash to the shareholders. So whatever asset is transferred by the company to the shareholder, this transfer is exempt in the hands of company. Transfer of capital asset at the time of partition of the HUF. Partial partition is just a word, but it is not recognized in law. Full partition of HUF may all the co-partners will get the assets from the HUF. That is an exempt transfer. Distribution of capital asset under a gift, not taxable. Transfer by holding to subsidiary, subsidiary to holding, not transfer, taxable. This you will study in detail in final, super duper topic. अभी सिर्फ knowledge के लिए amalgamating company, amalgamated, you know, whenever there are absorptions, amalgamations, merger and demerger. These are the super duper topic of advanced accounting in accounts. You may be having a doubt then, ma'am, what we are talking? Listen. My whole company is absorbed in your company. All my shareholders have got the share of students' company. All my assets and liabilities you have taken as it is. What about my losses? Can you carry forward my losses? Answer is yes. So in that case, first thing is, when I have transferred my assets to you in a scheme of merger of the companies, amalgamation or demerger is splitting. I have two units, one in Hyderabad, one is Chennai. Chennai unit is taken care by my student. And I'm saying, dear student, this Chennai unit I'm separating from my company. You keep all the assets and liabilities of Chennai company. Chennai ke unit ka you take care, and for some consideration or just like that, whatever it may be, I may give it to you and ask you to give shares against that, and you form a new company. So how this accounting and all is done, that's not there. But in our syllabus right now, am I transferring the asset to other company? Yes. Is this transfer taxable? Answer is no. Clear? Then transfer of rupee denominated bonds outside India by one non-resident to another to encourage them to invest in India. Transfer of government securities outside India by one non-resident to another. Redemption of sovereign gold bonds. On that, no tax is there. Transfer of urban capital before. Now, today, urban agricultural land, if you transfer, it's taxable. Transfer of capital asset to government, universities and all, not taxable. Conversion of bonds into shares is exempt. I told you. When those shares are sold, you have to pay the capital gain. Conversion of preference shares into equity shares. Not taxable. Transfer of units by unit holders. You know, in mutual funds, so many times the unit holders, they change the scheme. From this scheme, they are transferring to that scheme and all. Not taxable. Conversion of partnership form or sole proprietorship in a company. Partnership form is converted into company. All the partners have become directors. They have decided to run the business for 5 years. This, that. So if they satisfy, then this partnership firm doesn't have to pay any tax. Private companies converted into LLP, whatever assets are transferred, exempt. And last one, so many times asked in exam, transfer of paintings, artworks, sculptures, etc. to National Museum. Are you getting? Your painting, your antique artwork is your asset. But if you want to put up now in the Salarjung Museum and let the whole world see it, you have transferred it. So as good as you have gifted to the museum. Huh? So transfer, transfer for consideration, without consideration, all this is exempt. Transfer of capital asset by a banking company in a scheme of amalgamation, or a cooperative society who does banking work in a scheme of amalgamation, is all exempt. Okay? So these are all the transfers which are exempt from tax. Now, how is capital gain taxable? When I say students, this is house property problem, I remember how you all were eager. Before I start GAB, less municipal taxes, NAV, shuru. If I say do business income problem, how will you do? Net profit, add, less. You know the format. Like that, what is the format of the capital gain? I have printed a solved problem also. I will take that out so that the presentation skills are clear, but look at the format. If it is a long-term capital asset, indexation will be there. What is indexation? I am telling you. So sale consideration minus expenses related to transfer, net sale consideration, less index cost of acquisition, less index cost of improvement, long-term capital gain. Are you getting the format? Now what is cost of acquisition? What you buy. What is cost of improvement? After purchasing the asset, have you done any addition to that capital expenditure? For example, you purchased a building G+1. One more floor you have constructed, and when you sold, it was G+2. You had a gold chain of 6 centimeter length. In between, you added some diamond pendant and you made it 9 centimeter long. So value addition, cost of improvement. And when you sold the gold chain, it is 9 centimeters now. So cost of acquisition, cost of improvement, दोनों minus होगा index के साथ, you get long term capital gain. Short term capital gain, expenses, cost of acquisition, no indexation. Here indexation is there, here it is not there. What is indexation? I'll tell you. And when you get capital gain, if you invest in some conditions and some subject to some specifications, you get exemption and your capital gain is reduced. Frankly, at this level, this is your capital gain and you should pay tax, STCG, LTCG. But suppose if I have sold one house, I have got huge capital gain. I have sold the house in Hyderabad and I have purchased another house in Bangalore. Can I get an exemption? Answer is yes. All clear to all of you? Right. Chalo. Now, before I go to presentation, let us first talk about indexation. Index rates are the cost inflation index. In Hindi, we call it Mehengai. In our house, if senior parents are there, they keep on telling us, no, array, you people don't value dear students. 100 rupees is nothing for you. 100 rupees mein we used to get this much of vegetables, this much of this. I have told you, I think so many times, that when I did my CA journey in 95, 100 rupees mein I used to fill up 4 liters of petrol one week. Again Monday, 100 rupees mein 4 liters petrol. Abhi 8 liter petrol. So the thing is, whatever capital asset you have purchased, that time what was the cost? That is not the cost today. So these CIIs are given by the Act, and in exam they will be given. But suggestible for all of you, for financial year 2021 301 CII, you all should remember. Those who have studied earlier till last year, you may have 280, please scratch it. Don't write in exam 280 because I have studied 280. It is 301 only you have to follow for 2021. Right? Now, 2001 and 2 indexations are starting. 2001 and 2. So, item which was available in 100 in 2001, now it is available in 301. What was available in 100, now it is available in 301. So, if I have purchased a house for 50,000, say, in 2001, what is the cost today? 100 has become 301, 50,000 is question mark. 50,000 into 301 by 100. Are you getting the logic? Now please don't write like this in exam. Yeah, logic and all you can write. But in between write the formula which you understand. No need to buttify the formula. Can I say? COA, cost of asset, multiplied by CII of transfer, 301. Cost inflation index of the year of transfer, divide by CII of the period of acquisition. When did I buy the asset? 1 and 2. तब कितना है? 100. Clear to all of you? Right? Now look at this. Indexed cost of acquisition is cost of acquisition into CII of the year of transfer, divide by CII of the year when asset was first held. Clear? Now, cost of improvement, same. Suppose after purchasing the house, I spent 30,000 more in 2007. Now, if they give 2007, we should take 2007 and 2008 year. तब इंडेक्स कितना है? 129. So 129. One second now, what happened? The pen is not working. 129 has become 301. Are you getting? So 30,000 will be question mark. Kitna? So that is the formula for cost of improvement. Is this clear to all of you? Cost of acquisition and improvement. Now very important is some concepts. Very carefully you listen. What I am explaining now is asked in exam. Ma'am, if I have purchased in 2001 and 2, I will take CIIs given in exam. If I have purchased the house in 1995, तब क्या करें? 1995 में I purchased the house in 10,000. Now there is no CII for 1995. So can we bring the cost, stretch it and bring it till 2001 and 2? What is the fair market value of the asset in 2001 and 2? Say 25,000. So agreed you have purchased it in 95 and that too at 10,000. Now what is the fair market value of the asset in 2001 and 2? 25,000. So bring cost or fair market value, whichever is higher you take and then start the indexation from 100. Are you getting? You have purchased the asset in 1970s or 1980s. You bring it to the fair market value in 2001 and 2 and FMVs are available. There are websites. In actual in exam they'll give you FMV ready. So you take cost or FMV whichever is higher and start the indexation. Are you all following? Is my speed fine with example? My main crux today, my weightage today is on the concepts. When they twist the problem, capital gain chapter is very easy, but then it's a big basket. At a time, you have to remember many things, stamp duty and all. So please do let me know if my speed is fine or am I going fast. You all are following? Yes. You have to take the fair market value as on 1 and 2. And not the 1995 वाला, है ना? अब क्या करना है? Listen to the googly. I purchased the asset in 1995 and I did some improvement in 97. So cost of acquisition, though I am taking the fair market value. But they say any improvement before 2001, ignore. So if there is any improvement in 97, I will not consider. You know why I will not consider? Many times the students, the teachers, they buttify this. Fair market value you should take, okay? And cost of improvement before this is ignored. This is like buttified knowledge. Array 97 mein improvement, no, chod. Ignore, don't take it in the problem. But why? The reason is when you are taking the fair market value of the property in 2001, are you taking care of the cost and the improvement both? 95 you purchase G plus 1 house for 10,000. 97 you did improvement for say 8,000. In 2001, the G plus 1 plus one more floor, milake the fair market value is 25,000. So when we are taking fair market value in 2001, we are already taking care of the cost of acquisition and improvement both. That's why we say ignore the improvement. Clear to all of you? So you take cost of acquisition. Acha, one more thing. If this is an immovable property, then fair market value as on 1/4/2001 should not exceed the stamp duty value. You all know if they give stamp duty value, you have to take the stamp duty value, and I'll explain detail in section 50C. It will come in this revision class. आगे, ठीक है? Right. Ma'am, what if stamp duty is also given for asset acquired before I told you, no, Tarun, I hope your doubt is clear now. If they give, I'll explain with one more example, no problem. On 1/4/2001, fair market value of the asset is 30,000. Cost, purchase, so you have purchased in 1970, 10,000. And stamp duty value as a fair market value is the arm's length price. Stamp duty value is what is the value of this house in registrar? 25,000. So cost or fair market value, whichever is higher, so this. But fair market value should not exceed stamp duty value. So what will you take the cost? 30,000 or 25,000? 25,000. Shall we take a 2 minutes pause? Example, अच्छा है, लिख लो please. Fair market value is 30, cost in 1970 is 10. So cost or FMV, whichever is higher, and start the indexation from 2001. But if FMV is 30 and SDV is 25 stamp duty value, then you can't take the fair market value exceeding the stamp duty value. I hope your doubt is clear. Can answer me in the chat or ये note बना के लिख भी लो, लिख लो सब लोग. Okay. I'm waiting, लिख लो. Okay, chalo. Nice, now indexation concept is clear to all of you. Chalo, let us apply this in one problem so that with example this is clear. D purchased a building, okay, in 18 for 80,000 and he sold the same on 1/7/19. This you will get it for 20, but this is the problem of 19, so I'm not changing it right now. To Mr. D for 120. Expenses related to transfer are 10,000. Net sale consideration is 110 and this holding period is less than 2 years. So just reduce the cost of acquisition, that is 80,000, and one more floor constructed on 1st April. Then you transferred in 1st July. So cost of improvement 20 and you got short term capital. If this is long term, everything is same. except instead of cost, you will do indexed cost, and it is super interesting. You write the year, then you write कि 100 का 281 हो गया है, तो इसका कितना, like this you apply. Now suppose if the date of the purchase is 1/7/2012, date of improvement, मतलब I've tried to make it long term. So sale consideration is same, expenses same, net sale consideration same. Okay, now cost of acquisition is 80,000 in 12 and 13. 12 and 13 index is 200. It is transferred in 1920. Index is 289. So 200 has become 289. 80,000 question mark. 200 में what was available, now the value is 289. So 80,000 is question mark. So 80,000 into 289 divided by 200. ठीक है? Right. Now indexed cost of improvement. Same. 20,000 more. See, here you deducted 80 and 20 direct because it was short term. Here for improvement you did in 14, 15. तब 240 था. Now 289. 240 indexation has become 289. 20,000 कितना? Cross multiply, you get this. And now there is long term capital loss. Clear? So like this is very important, and all these points are also important. Long term capital gain, taxability and all, ये तो मैं आपको पढ़ाऊंगी. STT के लिए कोई deduction नहीं मिलता. This I have many times sending you the flashcards and also preserve those flashcards what I am putting in the WhatsApp group and Telegram group for update. उसको संभाल के रखो. Before the exam, when you revise all flashcards, important things are clear. This is like a googly in the exam. You have transferred the shares which you were holding as investment and STT's chart, security transaction. Is it deductible? Answer is no. But if you are holding the shares as your stock in trade, purchase of shares, sale of shares, business head, is STT deductible? Answer is yes. Under section 36, clause 15 and all, STT is deductible. Security transaction tax. So this is asked in true and false also. STT is not allowed as a deduction if you hold the shares as investment. STT is allowed as a deduction if you hold the shares as, so ye points be important. Okay. No indexation on bonds, debentures, sale of the shares to non-resident, depreciable asset, block value, no. Because the whole block made so many assets are there. We don't know the age of individual assets. So whenever depreciable assets are sold, profit, short-term capital gain, loss, short-term capital loss. Clear? Cost of improvement भी है, ठीक है? Means all the expenditure incurred and all, and you should take the fair market. This is that same example given. Yeah. Some of the assets, the cost is nil, like self-generated goodwill. But if I purchase running restaurant from you and if I pay you by check goodwill, this is a purchased goodwill. I'll record in my books. But if it is a self-generated goodwill, the cost is nil. Tenancy rights, lumas, you know, people, they make plant and machinery and then they allow everyone to use the machinery according to the hours, lumas. Bonus shares, the cost is nil. In accounts, you all must have studied, bonus shares are given as way of capitalization of reserves. So no money is coming in, cost is nil, but the average share per share goes down. So like these are the examples. Yeah. Now related to shares, goodwill and all the ठीक है. Right shares. Right shares are existing shareholders, they get a right to purchase. So outrightly original shares if you purchase, okay, then on that right shares what you purchase by way of cash, I mean check only you purchase the right shares. So when you sell original shares and right shares, you have a cost. Sometimes you are not buying the right shares, you are renouncing it. Renouncing the right means not selling the right shares, renouncing your right. The company has given you the right, that for one share you can take 2 shares. So for your 500 existing shares, company is offering you 1000 shares. You don't want to buy 1000 shares, 1000 into 2. With help of example, this will be very clear. 1000 into 2 right shares, I am giving it to you. है ना? So 1000 into 2, 2000 is my income taxable under capital gain as short term capital gain and cost is nil. Is this very clear or not? When you do share trading in capital gain, no, you should link it up with investment chapter in accounts. फिर से एक बार, I have got a right to purchase 1000 shares. I don't want to buy, so I have renounced it to my student. You buy 1000 shares, so you pay to company also 1000 into 20 per share. 2 rupees you pay to me because through me you got confirmed allotment of shares. So 2 rupees per share what I have received is my income. Short term capital gain, cost is nil. Is this clear? Actually, this is the running material, no? So we have here the cost, the concept and the examples and all here. See, if bonus shares are issued after 1/4/2001, cost is nil. If bonus shares are issued before 1/4/2001, fair market value you have to take as the cost. Now holding period, 1000 shares you are purchasing at 10,000. Bonus shares you are getting 1500. Cost of bonus shares is nil. Now same cost 10,000 is for 1000 and bonus shares. Okay, 500. So 1500. So per share the cost has come down. Now cost of the right is actual cost, whatever right shares you acquire. When rights are renounced, for you, actual amount what you paid to buy the shares to company plus amount what you paid to me, that will be the cost for you. And amount received on the right shares is taxable as short-term capital gain, and in bold I have written the cost is nil. Okay, right. Ma'am, expenses on purchase, is this value less? What is the treatment of this? Question is not clear, dear. You send it very clear. Expenses related to the purchase you are asking what you will do, you will add on. Like if you are buying shares, brokerage and all you will add. If you are buying property, the stamp duty, the commission, at the time of purchase you add it and then only indexation you will do. Okay? These expenses which we are deducting from sales, they are expenses related to sale. But 10 years back when I purchased the house for 1 lakh, if I have paid stamp duty 10,000, 110. If I have paid advertisement 5,000, 115. All the expenditure incurred till the capital asset is, comes in your hand, all that you have to add on. I hope I have answered. Okay, take a pause and tell me, are you clear related to shares? Original shares, holding period less than equal to 1 year, short term, otherwise long term. This is fine. Right shares, if you buy and sell, it's like routine. If you renounce the right share, it's a capital gain and the cost is nil. Bonus shares, the cost is nil anyways. See, these are nice problems. If you can recollect, when you revise the concept, you should revise this also. Okay. Conversion of debentures into shares is not a transfer. Yeah? Cost of debentures will be the cost of the shares. Okay? Debentures are converted into shares. So what is the cost of shares? Cost of debentures. Period of holding and indexation will start from the purchase of debentures. Debentures you purchased on 1st April 2008. Converted on 1st April 10, sold on 31st March 21. So your holding period of shares and your cost and everything will be from 2008 because shares have come against the debentures. When debentures are converted into shares, no capital gain. When shares are sold, capital gain is there. Holding period, indexation, everything will start from the original shares. Okay, Right. Chalo. Now we will take up some special cases where capital gain is three aspects are left here. It's a huge topic, huh? It's like frankly बहुत एनर्जी चाहिए ये पढ़ाने के लिए, बट इसको एक साथ ही करना है. तो 2 मिनट, you know, and what we will continue after this is special cases में capital gain कैसे charge होगा, then on the exemptions we will do, and then the capital gain का tax rates. Even advance money if you receive and forfeited, I'll tell you. Yes. You can comment below the video also if you have any doubt anytime while you're watching it. Right or not? Clear? Yeah. Chalo, latest shares related concept we have finished, and we are following FIFO method. Yeah. I'm showing you some very nice, interesting flowchart. Check whether you are following or not, and you can ask me your doubts. One minute. Okay, can you see some nice colorful flowcharts? These are some special incomes. How they are checked, I want to explain. Just look at the flowchart. I'm really sorry. 2 minutes now I'll count. Okay, did you like this colorful flowchart? This is a very super concept for compensation under the compulsory acquisition. Now listen all of you. Indexation starts from the time when you hold the capital asset, right? I want to repeat, indexation starts from the time you hold the capital asset, and indexation ends when you transfer the capital asset. Followed or not? But exception to the rule is I transferred in compulsory acquisition, but government has not paid me the money. So can we postpone the taxation? Yes. Superb. Exceptional. ध्यान से देखना. Building is purchased. Okay. Building is purchased on 1/7/2012 for 5 lakh. On 1/4/16 compulsory acquired. That means indexation will be allowed only till 16. Compulsory acquired. It will be allowed till 16. Now, I can't pay the tax on capital gain in 16 because yet government has acquired my property. They have started making flyover over there, but they have not paid me the money. Price was decided in January 18. Can I pay the capital gain now? No, please. पैसे तो आने दो. Let the sale consideration come to me, then I will do. Okay. Now on 39/2020, I received compensation 8 lakhs. Now shall I pay capital gain tax? Yes. So I am paying capital gain tax in 2020, but indexation will be only till 16/17, year of transfer. Agreed or not? Indexation is for the holding period. So you hold it the asset only till 16/17. Then why you are not paying the tax in 16 and 17? I didn't get money. Sale consideration comes, so I will pay the capital gain. No. So I will pay the capital gain, but indexation only till 16/17. Now they gave me 8 lakhs. I was not satisfied. I fought with the government and I got enhanced compensation next year, 21/22. Will it be taxable in the next year? Yes. What will be the cost now? Nil. Why nil? Because everything, when you have taxed it here, you have taken cost of acquisition, cost of improvement. So here there is the cost is nil. Got it? In enhanced compensation, cost is nil. And listen, I got this 1 lakh rupees late. Dear government, I want interest on that. So interest on enhanced compensation I received. Is it taxable? Income from other sources. How much deduction is allowed? 50%. All clear to all of you? Right. So this is how we charge the tax in case of compulsory acquisition. Acha, listen. One question for all of you, it's not mentioned. Suppose it so happens that when I fight 34/21, no, the 8 lakh compensation is reduced to 6 lakh. Government said, no, by mistake we paid you extra, you refund 2 lakh. And compensation was reduced. Now, do I have to refund 2 lakh? Answer is yes. But I have paid tax on 8 lakhs. Can I revise my return? Answer is yes. And suppose by this time, enhanced compensation comes, the owner of the property, the taxpayer is deceased. This will be taxable in the hands of the legal heirs. This detail is a final topic, successor and legal heirs and all, but you should know that taxation to lagega. Because in 16 I didn't pay the capital gain. I said I will pay it when I get the compensation. So I have to pay in 2021, but indexation will be for 16/17. Any doubt? Now, conversion of capital asset into stock in trade. Okay. So I purchased a land in 2002. In 2016, I started real estate business, buying and selling of land. So this land also I have put. So frankly, transfer of the asset into stock in trade, is it a capital transfer? Yes. Capital gain lagega? Yes. When? 2016. Okay. 2016 में capital gain लगेगा आपको, right? Now, in 2016, when I converted the personal asset into the capital asset, I should pay tax. I should literally pay tax. But how do I pay tax? Abhi tak that land is not sold. Now that land is sold in 2020. So in 2020, shall I pay long-term capital gain? Yes. But here indexation will only be till 2019-16. है ना, लिखा है long term capital gain you tax it 1920 में, but indexation only till 2016 year of transfer. But why I am paying capital gain in 1920? Because I got the money there. Okay. And now listen, fair market as on the date of transfer of this capital asset to my business is 8 lakhs. So this is the sale consideration of the capital asset. The day I transferred capital asset to my business, that is the date, उस दिन जो fair market value है, that's the sale consideration. So 8 and 5 and index and all. But 8 is the purchase value. For capital asset, 8 is the sale consideration. For business, 8 is the purchase. As you buy the land from others and sell, you have purchased from yourself at the fair market value 8 and you sold it in 9. 1 lakh rupees is your business income. I want to repeat, business has purchased the land in 8 from the person and sold it in 9. Your business income. And 8 lakhs fair market value is the sale consideration. Clear or not? Right? Ask your doubts for this table. What am I trying to teach? You all are very smart. You have done more than 40 problems of the capital gains. I am trying to teach you the googlies. If you by mistake take indexation of 2020 because that asset is transferred in 20, gone. That's what is the beauty of the revision. Otherwise, 13 classes of capital gain we are not doing. So I can't go in depth to make you understand all things, but revise in that way that all the googlies are covered. All clear? Shall I close this file? Okay. And over to our next part now. 1 second. Anyone is having any doubt or clear? Let me read the steps for it. See, one concept, one problem like that we have done. If you have any doubt, you can check these problems. Conversion of capital asset in stock in trade. It's a transfer. Sale consideration is the fair market value as on the date of conversion. When you convert the capital asset into stock in trade, fair market value is the sale consideration. Even though the tax liabilities differ, indexation will be only till the year of transfer. Fair market value and date of conversion less acquisition, this is capital gain, and remaining is business income. Done? Yeah. These are asked many times in the objective question. Exception to the rule that you adopt some other value as your sale consideration. Conversion of capital asset into stock in trade. What is the sale consideration? Fair market value as on the date of conversion. Partner is bringing personal asset to the firm. Book value which is recorded in the firm. That is the sale consideration for the partner. Partner brought his personal car for the business use. So whatever is the book value recorded in the firm, that will be the sale consideration. Okay? Then dissolution of the firm, transfer of the asset by the firm to partner. Is this taxable in the hands of the firm? Yes. Fair market value on the date of distribution. Okay? Right. Now, conversion of debentures and all we have done. So ESOP and all, ESOP I want to say just 2 lines, super important for income from salary, income from capital gain. 180 rupees share companies are issuing to public. Because you are their dear employee, they are giving you at 120 ESOP. In that case, 180 share you are getting in 120. In that case, 60 rupees is taxable in your hands as profit in lieu of salary. And now because 120 you have already paid, on 60 you have already paid. So when you sell the shares, you are allowed to take the cost as 180 and not 120. Okay? Right. Okay. Buyback of shares of listed and unlisted company shares. Buyback means company is taking back the shares. That's exempt in the hands of shareholders, and company is paying on that 23.296% tax. Okay, 20% tax, 12% surcharge, and 4% ESES मिला के. Once again, buyback of shares is actually taxable for shareholder, but for listed, unlisted, domestic company shares, company is paying tax, hence buyback is exempt in the hands of shareholders. Okay. Yeah, this is nice. So many times we transfer the property, individual and HUF for redevelopment. Okay. So individual and HUF are transferring the property, yes, for redevelopment. And when the property's construction is over, tower is built up. Okay. So if yes, then capital gain tax liability would arise after the certificate of completion is given by competent authority that, okay, I have given my property for you to construct flats and now the construction is over. So whatever, out of 10 flats, 4 you are giving to me against the land I gave, 6 you are keeping because you constructed. So the stamp duty value of the 4 flats plus the cash what you give me, this consideration will be taxable. Followed? When I will pay the capital gain? When the flat ka construction is over and the other person has given me 4 flats. But if I transfer the property outright to you and you make tower or you do mall or jo banana hai banao, then this will be taxable in the hands when I give the property to the developer. Simply I sold my old property and land to you. This is a concept, just detailed problems are not there for you. ठीक है? चलो, let us take up now this concept of section 50C. It says if stamp duty value is greater, okay, actual consideration is greater than stamp duty value, take actual consideration. If valuation officer के पास जाते हैं and valuation officer's value is more than stamp duty value, then take stamp duty. If valuation officer's value is less than stamp duty, take valuation officer. Clear? कब करेंगे ये सब? When you are transferring the property. So stamp duty value, if it is actual consideration is greater, take. But if actual consideration is less, stamp duty value is more. You are trying to sell the property at undercutting rate. So government is saying कुछ भी करो, 60 lakhs आप दे रहे जबकि property की value 80 lakhs है, it will be taxable at 80 lakhs. But you go to valuation officer, he says 90 lakhs. No, then take the stamp duty. But if valuation officer says 75 lakhs, less than the stamp duty, then valuation officer. Valuation officer is greater than stamp duty, then this. Okay? We have worked out problems also for this. So reference to valuation officer, yeah. Advance money forfeited is a superb, nice concept. They say, suppose I have transferred the property to you, you have paid token money to me on 1/4/2014 के बाद, then whatever advance money I forfeited, because afterward the transaction didn't happen, you said Vastu is not good and all, I said okay, whatever advance you have given I'll forfeit, because of you I lose other customers also. After 1/4/2014, if you forfeit advance money received income from other source, it's taxable. Before 1/4/14, if advance money is received and forfeited, whenever I sell the property, I will reduce the advance money from the cost, then I will do the indexation. With both the options, we have worked out the problems in the regular class. You can check. Now, last two topics are remaining. One is exemptions and another is tax implications. 2 minutes I am here only. पूछो कोई doubt अभी तक anywhere related to shares, special cases, कहीं पे कोई doubt? All clear or not? Hmm? Are you writing some running notes? Then it's good. Chalo. Now, what are exemption? Once you get long-term and short-term capital gain, then if you invest into some specific things with specific conditions, you get exemptions. Okay? Like section 654, individual and HUF. They have sold residential house. Against that, they are purchasing residential house. 1 year backward, 2 year forward, or constructing 3 years forward. From which date? From the date of the transfer. Then that much capital gain is exempt. You know, if I read all this, it will take 2 hours to explain only this table. I'll give you one example. Your capital gain is 50 after doing all index and all, but you have invested in the new house 30. How much you will get exemption? 30. Suppose you purchase new house for 65. So your capital gain or your investment, whichever is lower, is deductible. So exemption will be capital gain or investment, whichever is lower. Here 30. Capital gain 50. You have invested 65, whichever is lower, 50. In short, exemption cannot exceed the capital gain, like deductions cannot exceed the gross total income. Ma'am, but I have put 115 PPF, but अरे your income is 70, तो 70 तक की deduction मिलेगा, correct or not? Sometimes ऐसा ना घुसना नहीं है, overall पढ़ना है, तो you will enjoy more. So I hope you are getting. And ma'am, I have sold the house, but I am not able to purchase another house of my choice because of the lockdown. You can put your money in capital gain account scheme. Promise you will withdraw only for the purpose of purchase and construction. Then also you get exemption. So what is section 54? Sell house, buy house. What is 54B? Agricultural urban land you have sold, which you have used for 2 years for agricultural purpose, and against this what you have purchased? Agricultural land, urban or rural. Now 54D, land and building which is compulsorily acquired for used for industrial purpose. I gave you example, like in Hyderabad we have an area called Katedan, very nearby to Zoo Park. So they lot of disturbance because of the plastic fumes and all. So that whole land and building is taken over by government, and they have been provided another land and building in the outskirts of the city. So land and building is transferred, and what is purchased? Again land and building for factory purpose, exempted. Okay? Now 54 EC and EE, make it your best friend. You sell land, building, and against that you purchase bonds. Here time limit is only 6 months. Within 6 months from the date of the transfer, you have to purchase government bonds, NHAI, REC, and railway. 3 kind of bonds are there. 6 months forward. Maximum bonds you can purchase in this year and next year is only 50 lakhs. Within 6 months from the day, CGI scheme is not applicable because bonds खरीदने के लिए you don't need 2-3 years time. 54EE is you transfer any long-term capital asset. Here so it is land building. Here you transfer anything and you purchase specified mutual fund के units. Same 6 months. Now 54F is for individual and HUF. You sell any other long-term capital asset other than house and you purchase a house. So if you purchase a house, you can avail 54 also. You can avail 54F also. You sell jewelry. You sell open plot. But with that money, you purchase a house and promise that you and your family members don't have any house when you are buying that house, and against the mortgage of the house you will not take any loan and all for 3 years and all conditions. Yes. So if you ask me weightage wise सब पढ़ना है, but most important in exam are these 3 which are repeatedly asked. 54, 54EC, 54F. अच्छा 54G and GA they go hand in hand. You transfer land, building, plant and machinery, bus, not furniture. And you are shifting from urban to rural area. Means you are selling land, building, machinery here and you are buying it in the urban rural area. Or you are selling land and building and you are shifting inside SEZ you are going. Now you have decided to export and all. So in that case you get exemption. Okay. So these are the list of exemptions. CGS scheme is applicable for all. Yes, yes, yes. Except for buying bonds and mutual funds. Okay? Right. Yeah. Here in section 54 there is a very important amendment. It says if your capital gain is above 2 crore against one residential house, you can purchase 1 year backward, 2 years forward, or construct 3 years forward one residential house. But if the capital gain is less than 2 crore, you can buy 1 or 2 house. छोटे छोटे लोगों के लिए. I hope you are getting. Your capital gain is greater than 2 crore. So sell one house, buy one house. If your creditor capital gain is less than equal to 2 crore, then you sell this house. You can buy one house or you can buy two houses. Sometimes it's happening, no, the father is selling one house and he is buying two small houses for two sons. And if the capital gain is less than 2 crores, he can take this and this is optional. You can sell one house, buy one house or you can sell one house, buy two houses if your capital gain is less than 2 crores. Clear to all of you? Yeah. 54F I will repeat. 54F वैसे भी सबसे अलग है. Class में भी I have told you. You are in 54F, you are selling any capital asset and you are buying residential house. And you or your family members should not hold any residential house when you are buying that. And one more condition is you should not take any loan on that residential house which you are buying. And capital gain is also in the form of cross multiplication. Sale consideration में capital gain इतना है, so what you have invested in the new house, how much capital gain will be exempt. That's not a formula. We have worked it out logically in the class, but I'll tell you. 1 minute. Yeah. See, everywhere capital gain exemption is restricted to lower of new asset or capital gain, whichever is lower. But only in case of 54F, investment in new house divide by sale consideration into capital gain, whichever is lower. I hope I have made it clear. You can check the material. You can keep noting points in detail. ये देखना है. And there are other small conceptual videos also on the age of the asset, on the tax implication. You can check all that also in detail. ठीक है? Exemptions are over. Super problems we have done. Level of the problems ये सब किए हैं. I want to go to the taxation part. And I'll take up some small topics also, reverse mortgage and all what I have left. But पहले capital gain करते हैं. This table. This table may say surely something they will ask because this is having so many things information. Just check it 2 minutes. And I hope 54F is clear. What doubts you are putting in chat, I am clearing. Still have more doubts, write it. 15 minutes more I will take. And then also those who have doubts, they can wait. I want you to give best in your Monday's exam. Good. Literally, I'm not, frankly speaking to all of you, I'm never tired in my regular class, but taking revision classes like this, ना इतना बोलना है और इतनी सारी चीजें याद रखना है एक साथ, that is exhausting. But is it worth it or not? You all are following? Like this revision classes are there for salary, business and all. I think one revision class we all should keep exclusively for deductions. It's now weightage at deductions, TDS. TDS 8 marks, 4 questions, 2 marks each, super scoring. Yeah. Any doubts or shall I start the tax part for this? Sure. Now, how do you pay tax on the capital gain? So we have divided into 4 parts. First, we will take up short-term capital gain on shares, which are listed section 111A. Okay? These are specifically taxable at 15%. Short-term capital gain on shares. So you are holding the shares for less than 1 year and selling. 15%. Rebate is available. Basic exemption is available. Deductions are not available. ATC to ATU deductions you don't get in short-term capital gain on shares. And I hope you remember surcharge rate are 10%, 15%, 25 and 37. So 25 and 37% surcharge rates are not applicable for these two, short-term capital gain and long-term. So listen, if you have short-term capital gain on shares, 8 crores also, surcharge rate will be 15%. Additional surcharge rates are not applicable. This table I have made on my own as a booster note. I hope this is very clear. Any additions, suggestions to it, most welcome. आराम से करो, थोड़ा टाइम लेके करो. Tax implications are very important for capital gain. Yeah. Long-term capital gain on shares under section 112A. Deductions are not allowed. Basic exemption, yes. Rate of tax, long-term capital gain. Above, up to 1 lakh, long-term capital gain is exempt. Above that, it is taxable at 10%. Now listen, all of you. A confusion, I hope I have cleared many times, but still if you have a confusion. If you have only long-term capital gain on shares, you get basic exemption 250, 3 lakh, 5 lakh according to age, additional 1 lakh deduction. And then on the remaining long-term capital gain, you pay the tax, that is 10%. Clear? These are listed shares and you have been holding it for more than 1 year. And additional rate of surcharge are not applicable. Chalo. Come to this side now. Short-term capital gain on others, jewelry, property, building, plot. You hold it for less than 2 years and you have sold. So deductions are available, ATC to ATU, yes. Why? Because short-term capital gain is taxable at slab rate. Other than shares, short-term capital gain is taxable at slab rates. So rebate is available, yes. Additional rate of surcharge are applicable, basic exemption is applicable. I've yet not discussed this, I'll come to this, there's an exception. I hope you are getting, फिर से एक बार, short-term capital gain other than shares, it's taxable at slab rates. That's why ATC to ATU deduction, rebate, basic exemption, all available. Long-term capital gain other than shares, property, building, jewelry, hold it for more than 2 years and sell. In that case, deductions are not available. Okay? Why? Because flat rate, slab rate है तो available. Taxes 20%, basic exemption, rebate, additional surcharge, yes. Don't try to buctify this. The more you apply and practice, you will remember it. Okay? Now, exception to the rule is rebate under section 87A. It's available for any income less than 5 lakh, to a resident individual up to 12,500 सबको available है except long term capital gain on shares under section 112A, for which not available. Rebate under section 87A is not available. ठीक है? Clear to all of you? Right. Any more doubts? अच्छा, अभी इसको left to right भी पढ़ते हैं. Deductions are not available from capital gain chapter except short-term capital gain on other than shares because it's taxable at slab rates. 15%, 10%, 20%. Rebate is available everywhere except long-term capital gain on shares. Additional rate of taxes are not applicable. Surcharge rates are not. I hope you remember on income tax, on tax surcharge, tax plus surcharge is ESES. Okay, right. So with this problem was very nice. This one is very nice for practicing of the tax rates. So if you have still confusion of tax implication within 24 hours of listening to this class, if you revise this problem, it will be clear. ठीक है ना? Right. Now reverse mortgage, shall I say orally? I have missed it. Reverse mortgages, the senior citizen under a scheme of government have transferred the property, and against that consideration they are getting in the form of installment. Whatever consideration they are getting, it is exempt. Property will be taken over after they are deceased, and transfer of capital asset by the senior citizen to bank against the reverse mortgage scheme, that is also exempt. What you get consideration, that is also exempt in the reverse mortgage scheme. Okay. And one more in the exception 1037, because 1037 से related एक question भी आए हैं exam में. One second. 1037 is when you urban agricultural land is taken over. So you will say, ma'am, it's routine taxable. Urban agricultural land taxable, no? Yeah, here. But when individuals are transferring urban agricultural land, which is used for agricultural purpose, to government for specific purpose and consideration is paid by central government, RBI, it's exempt. Like in Hyderabad, Shamshabad Airport. There were small farmers who have transferred their property, farming land, and on that airport is built up. And the consideration is given by the central government. Then transfer of urban agricultural land, otherwise it's taxable. It's exempt in 54B. If you sell urban agricultural land, you buy another agricultural land. But if you transfer to government, consideration decided by RBI, it is exempt. Okay? Anything else if you feel I have missed out related to shares and all, या कहीं कोई doubt है पूछो. Original shares, you categorize and do it. Yeah, section 54 amendment, make sure, and I'm going to make all the flashcards and put in our WhatsApp and Telegram group once you start the revision, so that it is all clear to all of you. Okay, right? Capital gain MCQs के लिए slum sale. Oh, we missed out slum sale, no? We should do it. Section 50B. I have transferred outrightly my furniture, my projector, my camera, my whole assets to you. So for me, whatever value you give, slump mean lump sum, you have given 50 lakh. So 50 lakh is taxable altogether for me. Instead of taxing it, 50 lakh to aa gaya, but then how much in 50 lakhs is the value for land, for building, for furniture? I need to call a certified value. So can I pay capital gain together? Answer is yes. This scheme is optional slum sale. 50 lakhs I have got consideration against so many assets and liabilities which I have given. So net worth of the assets and liabilities given to you is the cost, and this sale consideration difference is taxable. Indexation nahi hoga. Any asset which I have transferred is long term, whole slum sale will be taxable as long term. And when you calculate the net worth of the asset, the depreciable asset you have to take at WDV as per income tax, and other assets you will take at book value, ignoring revaluation. So net worth is nothing but net assets. All the assets at the book value less all the liabilities, net worth. Net worth को sale consideration में deduct करो and pay the capital gain slum sale. Slum sale problems have been asked twice. So make sure you do it. और एक टेबल ऐड किया था for the shares. Last November exam, study materials problem was asked for shares. Yeah, this. Equity shares in a company on which STT is paid both at the time of purchase and sale, or equity oriented units acquired before 1st February 2018. So if you have purchased listed shares and all before 1/4/18, 1st February 18, then cost will be first fair market value and full sale consideration the day I have transferred. On that sale consideration or fair market value, whichever is lower, this or cost, whichever is higher. You have to work out problem for this are there in study material, and November 20 exam also they have asked this. Rest all the assets, cost and all. Achha, one more thing. So many times you get the property by way of gift, will and inheritance. Then cost for me is nil. Can I take cost of previous owner? Yes. Indexation also I can take from the previous owner provided I have got the capital asset in the by way of will, gift and inheritance. If I have got the capital asset from the previous owner in any other way, in that case, we will take the cost of the previous owner. But indexation will start from the day I hold the property, and indexation is always till the date of transfer. Even if it is compulsory acquisition and you are paying capital gain after 4 years. I've tried to give you the best gist of the capital gain chapter, and still you're stuck up in any concept, in any problem of the study material anywhere. Just click the photo and send me. I will do the audio clearing. You can send it in the group also. Your doubt may be the doubt for many other students also. So make sure you make the best of this revision class. Put your 100% and you all should write the class test. मैम उतना अच्छा प्रिपेयर नहीं हुआ है तो इट्स लाइक सैटरडे यू हैव एग्जाम मंडे इवनिंग और सम टाइम वट एवर टाइम सर हैज सेट फॉर यू बट आप श्योर करो कि एटलीस्ट वट एवर यू विल प्रिपेयर नॉर्मली यू विल प्रिपेयर मोर पुश के साथ थिंकिंग एग्जाम इज देयर दैट्स द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ राइटिंग द टेस्ट सीरीज और द क्लास टेस्ट because whatever will be the normal pressure you will become little lenient here and there usse to you will study nahi I have to write the exam and you will get a perfect mirror that okay this is my confidence I know capital gain I got it correct okay this is where I missed as soon as sir is sending the suggested answer key make sure you compare it with your answer to check the steps where you went wrong yes right or not you can give all the reasons to everyone and all your reasons are genuine, but you can't fool yourself. So work very best, 100%, and what help you need, let me know, right? All the best to all of you for the exam. Prepare well. Thank you so much for patiently listening. I think more than 1.5 hours over for this revision. This class is little heavy for me, for you. So now if you're noted down the points, tax implications and all, which was your doubt, make sure you check the last problem. It will be clear. Anyone else is having any doubt? Pucho? No? Okay. Thank you so much, Nan. Bye bye, all of you.